what is going on guys, the boss here and welcome to another video about the arena where the name is programmed. Today I'll show you my strategy with which I was able to claim so often the first place that I would go that far to say that this strategy is the #1 strategy for sudden death at the moment. As you can see in my profile, I was dominating the sudden death arena a lot of times, and that was also the case when I wasn't so lonely like I am at the moment in Arena 4. In yesterday's match I was able to claim the first place again, and that's why I'm having here another place 1 chest which I'm gonna claim, which is giving us 1000 sky shards right away. Anyways, let me show you the core of my success, my loadout. And we're taking with us the honey gun, the mortar and the cannon in our tower slots. Then we definitely need to have the dragon cannon with us, and that one must be charged up to the max. We're gonna use it up to the max, so we definitely need it to be prepared. And at the end we're taking with us the snowball and the grunts. So sudden death is one of the arenas where they're very helpful. Alright, this video will be a longer one, so let's jump right into it and I'll explain everything you need to know while we are once again dominating this arena. Alright, let me tell you about this masterpiece of a plan where we're gonna build here some kind of snake path where we are trying to group the approaching enemies together so that the mortars can do the maximum damage on a lot of enemies at the same time with their splash damage. In the beginning of the arena it's hard to see, but once we start to move up, it's important that every shot hits since the waves become so incredibly strong. So don't let yourselves be blinded by this peaceful beginning where we can deal with the enemies with just 1 or 2 tower shots. Another thing I need to mention here is that until we get up to wave 10, the waves are always the same, so until then you can predict precisely which troop type is gonna be the next one. However, as soon as we get higher than wave 10, the approaching waves contain enemies which have been selected randomly, and that's the reason why I love this arena, but at the same time I hate it as well. You know, it's super satisfying to succeed in this arena since it's that hard, but sometimes this arena just doesn't let that happen. Therefore we always need to be prepared to react quickly to the approaching waves, and we always need to consider that all waves after wave 10 need different approaches to be handled, and that's what we're gonna see as well later in a video scene in which we have a close situation where almost that one enemy reached a sky shard generator, which we of course need to prevent here. So I'm trying to give you a sort of overview about sudden death, but since sudden death is always a new experience, see this more as a guideline as we sometimes need to change the plan of course. But like I said, if you succeed and reach for yourself a new record, particularly in this arena, as it is so hard, it's really one of the most satisfying feelings, trust me. Alright, seems like we're now above wave 10 and this is when the real fun starts to begin. I hope you can see already how I'm placing my towers and how I'm using the honey gun to slow down the approaching waves. But to see how amazing the honey gun really is, we still need to wait a little until we have completed our defense. And obviously the major player for this is the mortar, which we place in the center to have them cover larger parts of this arena to benefit as well of their range. So far my mortars are on level 8, which means they can shoot 7 tiles far, and of course we want to make use of that. Placing them too far in the corner would be a waste of their capabilities since no enemies are running outside of the map, am I right? One drawback though I need to mention here is that I'm probably having a higher tower level than most of you, and I'm not sure if that strategy works out that well when they are on a low level. In case this strategy might not work for you right away, don't worry, as soon as you start leveling up your towers, this one will definitely work for you from tower levels 5 onwards. Alright, next thing is the hero. Notice where I placed my hero. The hero is at the end of my defensive line and will stop those units which are able to survive all mortar shots which are raining down on them. And you won't ever see me in a video where I'm using him to fight enemies directly, if not needed, simply for the fact that every time she dies it takes longer until she respawns, and we will definitely need her later as well. So far so good, we're going fast through the waves and I think the strategy I'm using here becomes more and more clear for you. However, there's one big thing missing yet, the upgrading of the Bertha and a couple more towers which will finalize everything. In addition, another thing we haven't done yet is grouping up approaching waves properly, and the best example to illustrate that is on the mini bosses in wave 20. To do that we're gonna prepare our snowball and drop it early enough on the edges of those path indicators at the beginning, 1 or 2 seconds before that mini boss will get frozen by it. The effect is that we're having here now 2 mini bosses in 2 groups where the members are very close to each other. That's why the mortars can deal splash damage, and instead of shooting on 4 separate targets, they now only need to shoot on 2, which is gonna help us immensely to take care of them. By the way, from this point onwards always have an eye on the dragon cannon, as we're gonna start to use it from this point onwards a lot more often. From sky shards earned in this round, we're gonna start upgrading the mortars just a little, and we're gonna place some more honey guns to get done with the path, but there are still a couple of pieces missing. You don't know about it yet, but there's gonna be another variable which is gonna make this setup so powerful. By the way, if you want to have a screenshot of my final layout for this arena, I'm posting on my Facebook page, The Boss Cloud Raiders and Survival Arena, a picture of it, and if you want to get there, simply go to the description and there's a link which is gonna bring you there instantly. There's also a lot of other stuff going on about my channel, the Survival Arena and Cloud Raiders, so it's definitely worth your time to have an eye on it. Alright, as we're speeding up again, I just summarized what is going on there right now. So in the meantime, we're completing our defense lines, we start to upgrade our mortars as well and aim to get them soon to the maximum level to help to get rid of all the enemies faster. Personally for me, it remains pretty calm here until we're reaching wave 25, where the strength of the enemy starts to increase and where we need to have the dragon cannon and the snowball ready. Those components will decide from that point onwards on how far we're gonna make it. Fortunately though, the mini bosses of this wave are gonna give us a lot more gears to finalize our tower placements in order to fight off the approaching waves more effectively. Just as a side note, we're again grouping up the mini bosses to have a greater impact on them, and the reason why we're speeding up so much with the dragon cannon is that we need to get rid of them before they reach the end of the path, where we can control them with our towers to block their path, but this would mean that we're losing gears, which we still need to upgrade all of our towers. Anyways, with the honey tower we have now a good enough defense to survive a lot longer, but we need to be careful on how to deal with the heavy soldiers and the pirate lasses. As you can see, I'm using the snowball on them right next to that honey gun, and this makes them group up all together, which is the key to success. And while we're recharging the snowball faster with the dragon cannon, we finally have time to have a closer look at why the honey gun is definitely the right choice here. So as soon as the pirate lasses are moving again, the honey gun causes all to get squished even closer together, which is exactly what we want to have and what we need, because the mortars can do a good amount of damage then. Another option on this map for the honey gun would be the ice tower, but as it only targets one unit in its operating area, we won't be able to slow down all incoming troops, and therefore the honey gun gives us here the advantage to perform very good in this arena. Here comes now also the first time we place our grunts, as I don't want to risk any of the pirate lasses to get through to the sky shard generator. I could have placed there as well a cannon by removing the first one and putting it right next to the honey gun, but there are situations where we rather use the troops instead of the cannon, and we just had one. So let me explain why. We know troops cost in general 5 gears in total, however the cannon in the beginning is worth 4 gears, by selling it we're only getting 3 back, which means losing here a value of 2 gears. Then we need to build another cannon, which is gonna cost us again in the end 2 gears, since we need to close that path at some point again. So in total we would spend here 4 gears to remove the cannon and place it again, which is 1 gear less than for the grunts, but obviously we still have some grunts left. We're gonna help us out for a little longer, whereas the cannon actually cannot do anything anymore. In other cases, which you're gonna see later, we're gonna place the cannon, for example, when the troops are becoming too strong and we can't stop them anymore with the grunts. Then obviously the best decision is to take the cannon to block the way. Alright, a couple of minutes ago we dealt with the pirate lasses by throwing a snowball in between that unfinished mortar on the right and the honey tower. This helps us to defeat them, but against the heavy soldiers we need a different snowball placement, where we're gonna cover the paths where the berthas form across. So this is crucial to make those guys group up properly, which is unfortunately not happening in most cases where we do it differently. But if we're doing it like that, even those guys are not a problem at all. And this means we can now go over to wave 30, and at the moment we're having over 247 kills, but there's still much air left to get higher. But keep in mind, when you're getting above 30, things will get serious, so make sure that you're focused after that. Let me demonstrate that here in wave 32, where we are facing again all of the pirate lasses, and this is where I underestimated them. So I was expecting that my grunts, hero and mortars are strong enough to kill that last one, but apparently they weren't, which is why the pirate lass could slip through, and the only reason why I could stop her was the snowball and then the grunts, which I placed on top of her. And this situation right here is exactly why I'm saying that my relationship with this arena is a hate-love. 1 second later and everything I did here would have been worthless, since I would have needed to start all over again. But since we had the snowball, we were lucky enough to survive here. After this scene, we were blessed by getting a lot of grunts who are giving us the opportunity to breathe again, as we got them not off and rather had to deal with heavy soldiers and pirate lasses who required way more attention. Additionally to that, the grunts have also 2 more advantages which are good to know. Before I start explaining that, keep always in your mind that each time you survive a wave, enemies are getting stronger. I think everybody knows that, but in the end everything comes back to that, so don't forget it. Now let's compare all of the waves and what that means for us. A wave of heavy soldiers consists of 5 units. When we kill all of them, we're getting 15 gears in total, 3 gears for each of them, and of course we're getting only 5 kills. In terms of building up towers faster, it's okay, but actually the goal here is to maximize our kills, right? So we're only getting that small amount of kills, but enemies are getting stronger, which means the risk of failing is increasing. And we need to start making kills as early as possible. Let's go now to the pirate lasses. From those girls, 10 are coming in one wave, where 1 kill gives for us 1 kill in the total score and 1 gear. When comparing it to the amount of kills the heavy soldier did and the pirate lasses, she performs better than him, but in terms of gears which we need to prepare our defenses, she only gives us 10. And in addition, she's the biggest threat for us. So also a troop type which we actually don't want to see in this battle, as she's not helping us a lot. On the other hand, a wave of grunt contains 20 of them, and all of them is giving us 1 gear. So in total 20 gears and 20 kills for 1 round, which means we're getting here the maximum out of it. Plus those waves are very relaxing, and to sum up, they give us the opportunity to upgrade our towers very fast to face stronger enemies with stronger towers. Alright, honestly this is now developing into an in-depth video about the sudden death, but I assume that this is the arena which most of you are playing at the moment, and I hope this arena gets simply a little less frustrating through that video for you, as I heard that a lot of people struggled with their setup. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to leave me some positive feedback on this video. At the moment we're currently very lucky, we're only facing a lot of grunt waves, and as I just mentioned, they give a lot of gears, which is why we're able to extend our defense and build a couple more mortars to help us defend against all the enemies. However, when we reach wave 42, we've arrived at the end of the arena, as this wave is simply too strong in arena 4, and that's what you're gonna see in a sec. With 422 kills, and after less than 30 minutes, we're gonna enter wave 42, which is simply overpowered, but see for yourself. The mortars suddenly don't do any damage anymore, and those grunts are no challenge anymore for the heavy soldiers. In other words, what you're about to witness is a desperate attempt to survive this wave as well. While we're enjoying that, let me lose some last words on this arena. Clearly, this strategy is definitely not the fastest one, as I rarely see players who take that much time, but they're also not making it that high. And therefore I can claim at the moment the first place whenever I want. In the future I expect that to change, because we still don't have that many towers, and I think there will be a lot more different ways to face all of the waves here. Anyways, unfortunately we weren't able to kill at least one of them, which is kind of frustrating, but of course that is also illustrating that this is supposed to be the end for sudden death in terms of the wave limit. So if you have enjoyed this video and you like this strategy, definitely make sure to give me some positive feedback, and of course there will be more videos coming up within the next days. So make sure to stay tuned. This is it from me, peace out.